Peace and love, everybody. This is Ryan Hotep coming back at you with another video, another perspective out here. So let's get into it. This video is about the dream. What exactly is the dream? Now, to understand this video, if you haven't, I suggest that you watch the video I just did, because this video is a part of a series. The video I did yesterday on vampires. Are vampires real? It's the name of it. And this video ties directly into that video, because when you understand, this is kind of like the second level of vampires now. I've already explained to you, the blood drinking part, and I decoded a lot of information about vampires already to you guys on the last video about vampires. Now I'm going into high level initiate stuff. See, this is the stuff that those that are quote unquote vampire initiates get into. This is the part of the teachings that they really don't teach. Now, the teachings about the dream have been taught, by myself and others, but not in the perspective of vampires. Not in the perspective of vampires. Now, to understand exactly why vampires feed off of energy, exactly how they feed off of energy and what they do with this energy and things of that nature, you have to understand the dream. And to understand the dream, you have to understand the quarantine. Those of you know that I've covered the Earth quarantine in other videos. And like I said, a part of this segment and series of various videos on vampires and the quarantine. And it's going to be like a host of videos I'm doing and they're going to be building off of each other. So part one really is, are vampires real? But I'm not naming it part one and part two. I'm not doing that with this segment, because each one is going to be like, a compartmentalized topic. So to understand the dream and to understand vampires, you have to basically, to understand why they do the things that they do, you have to go to the second level of vampirism. The aspect of vampires and what they speak about amongst each other. Why vampires take people's energy and why they live like that. Why do they do these things? And they do these things for many reasons. Now, for one reason is because they look at this third dimension as actually a dream. To the vampire, third dimensional reality, the reality that you taste, touch, smell, feel, and hear, is basically a dream to them. And a game, even. A game. That's even a better way of putting it. It's a dream and a game. And vampires taking energy and storing it is the way that they, in their minds, win the game. Now, I offer you biased information. I'm not putting myself into this. I'm not telling you, that I am an initiate in any type of vampire schools, and I'm not telling you I'm not an initiate. This is not about me, it's about the information. Again, get a lot of emails of people asking me about personal things, and I try to keep it strictly about the information. If you want to know personal things about me, maybe I'll answer it through email, maybe I won't, but definitely not publicly. So I just want to kind of throw that out there, before I get into it. So yeah, they're taking this energy and they're storing it, because to them this is a game, a dream. The whole life, the whole matrix is a dream and a game. And I'm going to explain to you why. But let me first explain to you what they're doing with the energy. Now, they take this energy, and when they sleep, now these are the vampires that have not transformed over yet, keep in mind. These are the vampires, because remember I told you in the last video, there's two sets of vampires. Those vampires that are still living. Some of them are immortals. They've living for 200-300 years, but they're still in this flesh and blood body. You got those vampires. And then you got another set of vampires that once they so-called die, or once they transform, they are now immortals in another reality. And they're called the undead. Remember I explained that to you. These are called the undead. So these vampires, they take this energy, and when they dream, or what you would call dreaming, see, to them, dreaming is reality. That's right. To the vampire, dreaming is reality. And they use this energy as far as the energy that they get from the dream to manipulate events. I mean, the energy that they get from, you know, what you would call the real life, which is the dream, because I have to keep pointing it out so you don't get confused. This is the dream to them. So the energy that they take from the third dimensional matrix, I'll say that, or the physical reality or the dream, they take that into the real world, which is the dream state. Because to the vampire, the real world or the dream state is the only state. And they use this energy to manipulate events in that world and to build up a life for themselves in that world. And the way that you dream, most of you, if those of you that even dream, some of you don't even dream. I mean, I know this because, you know, some of you that I do guided meditations for tell me that you don't even dream hardly. If you're not dreaming, then something's wrong with your third eye. Your pineal gland is blocked, it's calcified. It has what similar to snot around it. It needs to be decalcified. And I have something for that on my website. So go look it up. It's called Focused. But you need to activate your pineal gland so that you can be in a dream again, and need to stop intaking more important than even getting herbs and things that I have on my site. These work to help to repair it, but you need to stop ingesting and taking whatever it is that you're eating that's blocking your pineal gland, which is usually dairy products and donuts and things like that. These things are blocking your ability to dream. So the vampire is very strict when it comes to the physical reality in taking energy from people. He or she mostly focuses on getting energy or life force or prana or chi and storing it. So when they go into the next realm, they have control in their dreams based upon, see, your control and your ability to control in your dreams is based upon the life force that you have stored up in your aura and the chi that you have. So the vampire, this is the second level to it. He or she's ultimate goal is to learn how to store energy and to use this energy in the dream world, which you would call the dream world, but in the real world to them, which is the fourth dimension, believe it or not. So they're taking this energy and they can like tell themselves, it's so deep with them, they can tell themselves, right, that they want to dream about something, right? Say for instance, they say, I want to dream about Australia and going to Australia, but I'm in England right now and I want to go to Australia because I want to dream about this and I want to do some things there. They can go there in their dreams. And I'm talking about when they go there in their dreams, though, they're there. To keep in mind, it's not a dream because they have stored up enough life force and enough energy and built up a life for themselves. They've actually built a body, a fourth dimensional body for themselves in this dream state. So they could go to Australia. And some of them are so good that they can even show up in the third dimensional reality in Australia through their dreams. Through their dreams. That's how much life force they have. Some of them are so good that they can lucid dream. Some people, I'm going to do a video on lucid dreaming because somebody asked me to do it. But they can lucid dream. Basically, I'm just surface drilling on lucid dreaming here, but basically what lucid dreaming is dreaming in the awakened state. They can lucid dream and go places and visit places. And this is the things that they learn how to do with this energy that they're taking from people in this chi. Not only that, when they want to work with the higher, in vampirism, the elder vampires are the ones over them, or what they call the undead gods. These are their gods, are the undead. The immortals work with the undead, or those vampires that have already transformed and are not in a shell anymore. And the only way the undead will come to them is based on the amount of energy they have to offer. The undead only respond to offerings. So when vampires work with the undead, they're attracted to the energy that they have based upon the energy that they took it. So this is why they're just so hungry about getting energy. The vampires are, and this is why they're looked at as being, you know, bloodthirsty energy freaks. It's because they're using this energy for something amazing, actually, believe it or not, what they're doing with it. Now, the reason why I called this video a dream and understanding the dream in the game is because not only that, when they're sleeping, this is telling you that they can manipulate events here in the third dimensional reality. And then it said that some vampires, especially the ones that don't live in our civilization, but the ones that remove themselves from our civilization, have even gotten back to flying again. This is why you see on the movies where some vampires can fly, because they've stored up enough chi and have detached enough from themselves to where they can even fly. Some vampires, they've got back to that again. You know what I'm saying? Because And I'm not saying that they're doing this or not. This is what they say. I've never seen one do it. I mean, just to be real with you, as far as what I've seen, I've never seen a human being fly. I've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? I've heard about flying on the astral realm and things. I've never seen anybody fly with their physical shell, like start flying or whatever. So I'm not saying that they're doing this, but I'm just explaining to you, offering you information. That's the thing I'm trying to point out here. I try to be very honest with you guys. I've never seen a human being fly, but they say that, you know, some human beings can fly. So hey, I don't know, but I know for a fact that what vampires can do is they can manipulate things in this third dimensional reality based upon the energy and the life force that they have, because they're basically in essence working with unseen guides and unseen deities, and using this energy to offer this energy up to unseen guides and unseen deities. Now, the reason why this ties into the quarantine is because of this. The quarantine is the dream state. The third dimensional reality is the dream state. That is the dream. That is the real life dream. And when you dream, when you go to sleep, that is reality. And they know this. And the reason why it's like this is because when the quarantine hit, really what the quarantine did was, for the beings that knew and had knowledge of the higher arts, this was a field day for those beings, like your vampires and, you know, even other beings that had knowledge of energy and how to work with energy. Once the quarantine was hit the planet, human beings lost the knowledge of everything as far as the energetic reality, and they became slaves to the third dimensional reality based upon the quarantine. So to most vampires, they don't want the quarantine to be lifted. Actually, they don't want the quarantine to be lifted because they have fun manipulating third dimensional reality, or the dream. They call it the dream, and they know this is a game. So this is why vampires are depicted as being cold and heartless and things like that, because you really can't do or say anything to get to one who is a vampire, a high-level initiate vampire. There's nothing you could do or say to them on a third-dimensional reality that's going to scare them, that's going to get them emotional or upset, because they know all of this is a game. And vampires, they do a lot of different rituals, and they have a lot of different rites and rituals and tactics on detaching from the third-dimensional reality, based upon working with those undead gods, or those gods in the fourth and fifth dimensional realities, because you really aren't experiencing reality until you get to the fourth and fifth dimension. This is actually reality, believe it or not, the fourth and fifth dimension. This dimension, the third dimension, was created based upon the quarantine, and it's basically you're trapped inside of a physical shell, except for those that know how to work with energy, because those beings that know how to work with energy, like your vampires, are having fun down here, because they're manipulating events, because they're not attaching to anything in this reality. And matter of fact, they're taking energy from this reality and working in another reality, which is making their life easy when they come back in this reality. So in essence, they're really jumping from reality to reality. And this is why vampires can live to be 200 and 300 years old, is because they build up a life for themselves in the fourth and fifth dimensional realities, and they can leave and go into that life at will. So they reverse the aging process when they do this. They reverse the aging process. This is very important. So to them, they know this is all about energy, and they know that this third dimensional reality is not real, and it's really a dream. Believe it or not, this is the dream to them. So to close out this video, they don't mind taking energy from humans and from animals and from wherever they got to take energy. Anything that has prana and life force in it, they don't mind taking this energy from humans, because they are using this energy for something. So they look at those that they call them sleepers. Those humans in reality, they're just walking around, you know what I'm saying, they don't know what's going on, and just kind of like, you know, getting caught up into the matrix. Oh, I got a speeding ticket. Oh my God, I can't pay my rent. Oh, I can't do this, because they're just reacting. They look at those people like sleepers. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't care because you can't pay your rent. If you can't pay your rent, that means you're not an energy worker. See, an energy worker won't have those type of problems. So, you know, you're not even really playing the game if you still are looking at these events from a reaction standpoint. The goal is to learn how to be on the other side. See, vampires on the other side, they manipulate the events that you react to. And this is why most of your vampires are people that are in positions of power right now. These are your vampires. And believe it or not, your vampires, they tap into an energy source, because there's different levels of energy. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying vampires are the end all be all when it comes to working with energy. There's even higher levels to working with energy that surpass even what the vampires know. I'm just offering you this degree of information to explain to you how most people that are living in this matrix that are getting ahead, they're really, most of them are vampires, and they're initiates into the vampire school. And this is why they live in big cities and things of this nature, because they can get so much energy from these big cities, from the events that go on in these big cities. So these are your vampires. These are your vampires that are taking energy, and they're found in big cities. And most of you really are what are reactionary vampires. Like most people that are watching this video are vampires too, because everybody really here in this matrix to a certain degree feeds off of other people's energies. Like everybody does. You feed off of people's energy every day. If you're working a job, or even if you're running a business or whatever you're doing, you're feeding off of people's energy. It's just that vampires are conscious of what they're doing. So they know how to take energy on many different levels. And I'll go into some of those things in another video. I just want to kind of point out the dream and the game and explain to you how vampires look at it. So until we meet again, I'll leave you in peace.